That girl from a west side girl to a south side girl to a north side girl to a east side girl. She's fierce. You are now listening to the Fierce Female Network.
Welcome to the Fierce Female Network. I'm your host, Fierce Manson, and today is Thursday, baby. Y'all know it's Thursday. Oh my God. Thursday is one of my favorite days. Monday, that's my all-time favorite day. I love Mondays, baby. I love Mondays. When I was actually working a real job, 9 to 5. I used to always love Mondays. Mondays was my sunshine day. Monday, I know everybody hates Monday. Nobody wants to get out of bed. Nobody wants to go to work, but I was not like that. I would get up, spring up, and get my butt to work at almost 7 o'clock in the morning. Didn't have to be there till 9 a.m. That's how much fun it was. So listen, it is Thursday, y'all. We're going to put the trash out. It is Put the Trash Out Thursday. Oh, my God. Y'all got any trash to be taken out? Mama got a life lesson for you. I'm a certified life coach trained by Dr. Monique Carradine. Now, listen. It is 5 p.m. on the Central Standard Time Zone and 6 p.m. on the Eastern Standard Time Zone. Let me tell you something all up in here. We are no longer on Blog Talk Radio. I was surprised. I don't never look to see what's going on. So here lately I've been looking to see what's happening. So on Google and AI, it said that Fierce Female Network, you can listen on Blog Talk Radio. Well, let me tell you up in here, Blog Talk Radio is closed down. There is no Blog Talk Radio. So listen, Google, and listen, AI, the AI version. It is SPREAKER, speaker. You know what I mean? So listen, thank you guys for listening in from Australia, Germany, Egypt, and Brazil, and India. You know what I'm saying? So listen, I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so very much. So it is Take the Trash Out Thursday. We're going to take the trash out. Oh my God. Are you ready for the trash? So let me tell you up on today. You guys know I have a mini-series, Caregivers Protection. I started talking about this because of all the many things I have been through as a caregiver. I didn't start being a caregiver, just yesterday. I've been caregiving for a couple of decades now, off and on. It started with my late husband, Robert Lewis. Took care of him. That was way back yonder, y'all, way back yonder. And, after I finished taking care of him and things like that, it took me a minute. We were living in Louisiana. I'll make this real quick and short. I moved back to Illinois, right? And so when I got back here, every time I heard a fire engine or ambulance, I would have a panic attack. I kid you not. Every time I heard the sirens, I would jump, and I would jump. Even if I was sleeping, I would just jump, wake up, and I would just it was like a panic attack. I kid you not. And it took a long time to get rid of that. I'm like, oh my God, you mean to tell me I cannot stand to hear an ambulance coming down the street? It would just terrify me. And the reason because of that, because Robert was so sick. When I met him, he was ill. He was a juvenile diabetic. And, we got married within the first month of meeting him and everything like that. Met him at WVON. I always talk about WVON. He was good friends with Purvis Span. And so, I was taking care of him. And, ever since I heard the siren, when I came back up here to Chicago, it would drive me bananas. You never know what you're going to be left with. You're going to be left with stuff after you take care of somebody, right? And so it took a long time. I'm talking about a span of maybe 2 or 3 years to get that out of my system. Every time I would hear an ambulance, I would just, I would just jump, because we always had to call 911. He was just so sick. You know what I'm saying? And, but we had a lot of good days, but it was a lot of bad days, because he always had a lot of stroke after stroke after stroke. And so, it was like we always had to call 911, and just hearing it, I would just be terrified, because he would be sick and have to call 911. It's like, oh my God. And I would have a panic attack. And so after I finished taking care of him, I was left with that. having panic attacks, hearing sirens. I would just jump, and I just jump. And so, and then, later on, I was taking care of other people. And then, so, the latest individual taking care of a family member, now this is a whole new ball game. So, I want to tell you this about this particular episode with miniseries with Caregivers Protection. If you are a caregiver, especially if the person has Alzheimer's, or if they have dementia, or if they have Parkinson's or Parkinsonian, that's what I have. I have Parkinsonian. I've had that for many years after I had my aneurysm. So listen. Y'all know I'm transparent. I tell it all. Ain't no secret. I tell it all. Listen, she one day. You have to be really, really diligent. Take copious notes of everything that's going on in the home. One day she poured whiteout into her ear. Now I was in the room. I didn't see her do this, but she poured the whiteout down into her ear, and she came out into the kitchen. By the time I came in the kitchen, and I looked, she's got whiteout running down the side of her face. I'm like, oh my goodness. Now, I have never seen anybody with dementia do something like that. I was like, oh my goodness, what made her think to do that? And so then, of course, I was terrified. I called the nurse that was over her and everything else. Now, this nurse she's a registered nurse. She works at St. Joseph Hospital. I called her. She wasn't even the least bit, concerned. I was like, do you hear what I'm saying? And so she says, well, is she okay? I said, she appears to be okay, but whiteout in the ear canal is not okay. So she wasn't concerned. I hanged up right away. And then, I called somebody else. I says, I got to use good judgment here. Whiteout in the ear is not a good thing. So I called and spoke with a nurse. I called somebody else, and they asked me a couple of questions. I think I called Alzheimer's Foundation. They asked me a couple of questions, and they said, of course, it's not good. There's toxicity that's down in her ear. I called dispatch help. They came out right away. And they saw, of course, the whiteout was still on her face. And they talked to her, the nurse practitioner and the other assistant. They looked, and she didn't want them to get the whiteout out of her ear. She didn't want, and they told us, they were really sweet. They says, well, ma'am, we have to take a look because it's not good to let something like that stay in the ear canal. And so then she warmed up to them. They came and took a look. Took the light and looked down. She said, oh, yeah, we've got to get this out. It's stuck down in the ear. So they worked, long story short, they worked with her to get it out. And, a big clump of wax and whiteout came out. And I kept it, I kept everything. I kept her tooth. She had a tooth to come out. So when things happen, you got to make sure that you keep those things, because you never know if somebody's going to ask questions later on down the line. So I had a little... I asked the nurse practitioner, I says, can I have that? And she looked at me like, what are you going to do with a ball of wax and some whiteout from somebody's ears? And so she gave it to me. She put it on the paper towel, and I put it down in a bottle. So listen. So the point for this particular episode, you want to make sure that you keep copious notes, even if you don't keep the person's tooth, or if you don't keep, something that came from out of a part of the body. You want to keep those items. And so if you don't, you just want to keep copious notes. You want to make sure that you're detailing. This was what I was told, to take notes. So you want to do that. And so now I want to get into some music. Now that's just a short, thing that I went through. I want to share. And it's not strange or odd. Anytime that you are a caregiver, you are going to do something. If you have taken care of somebody, you will talk about it all the time. Well, not all the time. Off and on, you will talk about it. You will do something. I always talk about Christopher Charles Chaney, who took care of his mom for many years until she passed on. He ended up writing a book, a #1 bestseller. He ended up doing that, and he ended up starting his own program, training other people to be caregivers. He had a workshop all online, but now that was many years ago. And then he, after that particular period, after that season was over, he did very well with those workshops. He went on to be a GM, a manager at a car dealership in Tennessee. So listen, you're going to end up writing something. You're going to end up doing something. That is just a part of life. So listen, I got some great music for you. Listen, got some great music for you. I'm going to get on into it. I only have a few minutes. Also, I want you guys to know Don't forget to shop at Cozy Earth. Cozy Earth, click on the link in the bio. 30% discount. 30% discount. Listen, click on that link. Make sure you use the discount code, which is FFN, Fierce Female Network. Make sure to click on that, and you're going to get a great discount, 30% discount on whatever that you get. So listen, got some great music for you. I think I still have Camellia on here. I think I have Camellia. That is a really great song. So listen, I don't think so. I think I took, no. Camellios is not on here. Let's play Stacey Jackson, The Flip Side. Stacey Jackson, The Flip Side. Take a listen to Flip Side.
If I had a superpower, I'd split myself in two. I'd be invincible if it were possible. How far would you go to take a chance to do the impossible? Would you walk the road the way I would? 'Cause I try to be there for everyone, but I gotta be there for me. On the flip side, meet me on the joyride. We don't have to get it up. On the flip side, there's no wrong or right side. We can never get enough. If I were a superhero, I'd fight against the tide. Be indestructible if it were possible. How far would you go to take the risk to do the unthinkable? Would you roll the dice the way I would? 'Cause I know that it's frightening, but the tight rope is tightening. Can't you see? On the flip side, meet me on the joyride. We don't have to get it up. On the flip side, there's no wrong or right side. We can never get enough. I'll see you on the flip side. Meet me on the joyride. We don't have to get it up. On the flip side, there's no wrong or right side. We can never get enough. On the flip side, meet me on the joyride. We don't have to get it up. On the flip side, there's no wrong or right side. We can never get enough.
All right, that's Stacey Jackson and Flip Side. Let me tell you something up in here before I go, because I'm pretty much out of time. Stacey Jackson was in her 40s when she made that song. Well, what's the point of that? Never, ever, ever in your whole long life let anyone tell you you're too old to do something. I don't care if you're 80. You can be 80 years old. If you want to start singing, take some singing lessons, gosh darn it, go take some singing lessons. Go take some singing lessons. So listen. The point is this. Stacey Jackson in her 40s, made that song Flip Side. Y'all know what? Y'all know what happened? It took off. I don't know if she made anything else. I ain't for sure. But listen, let me tell you this. I'm on the real. So she ended up making that song with Snoop Dogg, y'all. Snoop Dogg helped her with that song. So don't you tell me you ain't the right age to do whatever you doing. Now listen, I'm almost getting ready to be 63 in October, and I'll be gosh darn it, I'm 33, baby. I'm 33 in energy. Ha ha! Come on up in here. Listen, now, let me tell you this, then I got to go. I married an old man. My first time I got married a man that was much older than me. I don't want no another one. Me and Bob had a really splendid, wonderful thing. It was just sweet, juicy, and delicious. But guess what, baby? I don't want another older one. I want a younger one. I don't want none that's looking older. You hear what I'm saying? Come looking young, correct, and full of energy and positivity. Then I can roll with you. Don't want no old one. Listen, I was in my 30s, and he was in his 50s. I don't want to go down that road. So, no, baby, I need them young. Come on now. Now, listen, I got to get on up out of here. It's been a stone cold blast. As always, it is peace, love, and soul.